Food Fridays on Fox 24 News Now. Sponsored by U.S. Food Chef Store. Great food, wholesale prices.
Well, it's such a relief to be able to treat yourself and have a delicious meal out. On this week's Food Friday, we check in with downtown's new Gale Restaurant on their reopening and what they have to offer. We're joined by Brett Chizinsky, owner and chef of Gale Restaurant. And to be fair, this reopening, you never really had an opening. When did you first hang out your shingle?
So we opened about a week before the quarantine hit, so I've been having bad luck ever since we started, but right now we reopened about 5 days ago and for pickup only, so it's looking pretty good right now.
Well, good for you, and congratulations on your new restaurant. It's beautiful from what we can see of it. Under normal circumstances, about how many people can sit in your restaurant? Looks pretty big.
Official numbers, I believe, was 42, but we were obviously going to squeeze as many as we could.
Okay, and so you're going to be doing takeout only. Let's talk about the menu, though, because you have an Italian-inspired menu. I feel like the Low Country is always in need of good Italian food. So what are some of the items on your menu that you're particularly proud of?
So I do say Italian, but it's really an expression of just food I love. I worked for Italian chefs, so I'm best at Italian, but I feel like I use ingredients all over. I'd say a couple of the dishes, the spaghetti and meatballs will always be on there because the meatball recipe I have has yet to be beaten by anybody. I haven't had anybody do a better one, and it's just so delicious. And right now on the menu too, I love the clam pasta is incredible because using any local seafood and being able to highlight it is always one of my favorite things to do. About 80% of our ingredients right now are local produce from farms around the area, and really I just love any dishes that get to highlight that.
Tell us a little bit about your history. So you said you worked for an Italian chef or a chef that specialized in Italian food. First of all, where did you come from?
So I grew up in Connecticut. I went to Boston University and was there for about 8 years. I graduated as an aerospace engineer and decided to disappoint my parents by becoming a cook instead.
Wow, what a departure.
But well, you'd be surprised how much science and engineering goes in the kitchen too. But I worked at Salty Pig in Boston for two chefs, Michael Lombardi and Kevin O'Donnell, who now own SRB in Boston, which is one of the, I would consider the most prominent Italian restaurant in Boston. They had opened restaurants in Italy, France. I mean, they've got a background that they joke that they have a more romantic past than them with their wives, because they've just been all over the globe opening restaurants, and they were extremely incredible mentors to get from the start. And after Boston, I went to New York City to work in fine dining.
When did you finally make your way to Charleston?
So after a summer in Martha's Vineyard, I helped Chris Fisher open a place. He's a farmer and was a farmer in Martha's Vineyard. Helped him open a place in Covington in downtown Edgartown. And then from that summer went down here because was just looking for something new. Was looking for a new food scene. And I heard Charleston had a great one, and it was between that and Austin and a couple other places, and I just fell in love with the location.
Well, you can't beat the weather, and we're so glad that you're here. So finally, people can come, they can pick up their food at Gale Restaurant downtown. You're at 601 Meeting Street. You are closed on Tuesdays. What are your hours?
Hours right now are pickup 11 to 2, and then for dinner 5 to 8. And that's to start. I mean, we're still kind of in limbo on all these details, seeing how we react to things are going with the quarantine and everything.
Yeah, any idea on possibly opening your doors to allow dine-in?
As far as I'm concerned, we're going to open for dine-in when I can 100% guarantee the safety of my employees and customers, which is in limbo with how South Carolina is doing with COVID. That's my main concern, especially as a new restaurant. So no real set date until we really figure out that I can be 100% safe for everybody.
All right. Well, we appreciate it. And congratulations on your opening, albeit under these very odd circumstances. But we're going to make sure to share all of your information. People can place their orders, go have some delicious Italian food, and just great food, period, at Gale Restaurant. Thank you so much, Brett. It was great to talk to you.
Thank you.
We'll be back after this.